afternoon and welcome to Africa Today. I am Ainan Lubem. First, the headlines. On the headlines, Nigerians questions leaders' patriotism as they react to 1.4 billion naira vehicle purchase. Ivorian Defense Minister meets families of soldiers held in Mali. Kenyan top judge waives wig rule for lawyers. And sports Super Eagles to face Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal in friendly game. Now to the news in detail. As part of strategies to combat insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory, that is the FCT, the Minister of FCT, Musa Bello, presented a memo for the procurement of more security gadgets at the Federal Executive Council, that is FEC, FEC meeting held yesterday at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. After the meeting, the FCT minister gave further details about the approved memo.
Today at the Federal Executive Council, I presented a memo for the procurement of utility vehicles and security gadgets and accessories to support the security agencies operating within the Federal Capital Territory. And these items are 60 utility vehicles, including communication equipment installed in the vehicles, at the sum of 1,835,108,613 naira 95 kobo, with a delivery period of 2 months. In addition to that, Council also approved supply of various security gadgets and accessories to support security agents in the FCT at the total sum of 842,139,764 naira 57 kobo, making the total of these two procurements the sum of 2,682.
Meanwhile, the Finance, National Budget and Planning Minister Zainab Ahmed has justified the purchase of vehicles from the Nigerian government worth 1.4 billion naira, and when asked about questions during a press briefing after the FEC meeting.
Let me just say that over time, Nigeria has had to support its neighbors, especially immediate neighbors, to enhance their capacity to secure their countries as it relates to us. This is not the first time that Nigeria has supported Niger, Cameroon, or Chad, and the president.
Reacting to the development, some Nigerians have posed the question of patriotism among Nigerian leaders. Away from that particular one, now to Nigeria's National Assembly has expressed fears over the worsening insecurity in the country, particularly the recent attacks on the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja by terrorists. Following the worsening insecurity, the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, on Wednesday summoned the security chiefs to a meeting where he described the situation as the most frightening. Also at the meeting, the senators and the House of Representatives advised the security chiefs on how better to protect the FCT and the country in general. In the last few weeks, the FCT had faced grave security threats, with terrorists launching separate attacks on troops and the Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center. Last Thursday, suspected terrorists launched a vicious attack on soldiers at a checkpoint at Zuma Rock, a few kilometers from the nation's capital. Speaking before the security meeting went into a closed-door session, the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, admonished the law enforcement agencies to perform better and protect the rural populace.
Investments in the security of life and property in Nigeria. This present position where we are is most frightening, because it's like there's nowhere to hide or nowhere to go. We have problem with our economy to some extent because of security. No foreign direct investments, or not as much as we would ordinarily attract to our country. the level of oil theft is of industrial scale.
In his remarks, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lucky Irabo, assured Nigerians that the military would do more to improve the security setting across the country.
Quite a lot has happened, quite a lot has been done, quite a lot is being done to ensure that we improve on the security setting across the country.
When we return, news from other parts of West Africa. Don't go away. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. And now to news from other parts of West Africa. The government of Ivory Coast on Wednesday reported that talks are already in place to ensure the safe return of 49 Ivorian soldiers from neighboring Mali, although any result could take time. The government spokesman Amadou Coulibaly says although discussions are underway, Ivory Coast has favored dialogue and everything is being done so the soldiers can return to their families. Meanwhile, Ivory Coast Defense Minister Tener Birahima Ouattara on Wednesday met relatives of the soldiers, telling them they had been deployed as part of a mission that complied with the rules. Mali is calling on Ivory Coast to express regret for sending troops into Malian territory without requesting its permission. Bamako also wants Ivory Coast to hand over several Malians in the country wanted by the authorities, but Ivory Coast has rejected both these requests. And now to Senegal, where Senegal's opposition has called for the suspension of the publication of the results of Sunday's legislative elections to examine the complaints over alleged irregularities and fraud. Both the government and opposition camps are claiming victory after Sunday's vote to renew the 165 seats in the National Assembly, which is largely controlled by the presidential coalition. The opposition had hoped the elections would impose a cohabitation or divided government on Sall and curb any ambitions he may have for a third term. The polls, the last before the presidential elections in 2024, were an important test for Sall after local elections in January saw the opposition win in major cities, including the capital Dakar, Ziguinchor, and the south and Thiès in the west. Toure claimed to have won 30 of the 46 departments in the country and overseas constituencies. We now move to other parts of Africa after this break. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Africa Today. And now to news from other parts of Africa. The United Nations mission in DR Congo, that is MONUSCO, on Thursday deeply regretted the decision to expel its spokesman, Mathias Gilman, from DRC Congo and took note of the request made by the authorities in a statement. The Congolese Minister of Foreign Affairs, Christophe Lutundula, asked MONUSCO on Wednesday to do everything possible to ensure that Gilman leaves Congolese territory as soon as possible, inviting the mission to give the benefit of urgency to this request. However, the mission is committed to continuing to work alongside the Congolese population and authorities to implement the mandate entrusted to it by the Security Council. And now to Sudan, where South Sudan's Foreign Affairs Ministry has sent invitations to all diplomatic missions, regional and international non-governmental organizations accredited to South Sudan to attend today's event that will be presided by the President Salva Kiir. In response, Western diplomats in South Sudan, the heads of missions of the US, the UK, and Norway, known as the Troika for Sudan, said they understand that all the relevant parties to the revitalized agreement have not been included in consultations about the contents of the roadmap and extension to the transitional period, stressing that they had previously written to the President to express their profound concern that consultations must include civil societies, hence the decline in attending the meeting. The meeting was to be attended by First Vice President Riek Machar and other 4 vice presidents and political parties who are signatories to the revitalized peace deal. Kenya's Chief Justice has waived a requirement for lawyers being admitted to the bar to wear traditional ceremonial wigs because of supply issues. Kenya's Chief Justice Martha Koome said on Wednesday that the high number of lawyers being admitted as advocates of the High Court had made it difficult for them to get the wigs. She said, however, that those wishing to wear the attire still could do so. Lawyers and judges in Kenya and several other African countries still wear the traditional curled white wigs on formal occasions, which are a legacy of British colonialism. Up next on Africa Today is business news. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now to business news. According to data from the budget implementation reports for the third and fourth quarters of 2015, the 4 quarters from 2016 to 2020, the first 3 quarters of 2021, and the first 4 months of 2022 budget deficit has risen to at least 30.58 trillion naira in the last 7 years. An analysis of the report on the Budget Office of Nigeria's website revealed that Buhari's administration had spent at least 54.98 trillion naira on budget implementation since its inception, but has only financed this spending with 24.39 trillion naira, leaving a deficit of 30.58 trillion naira. A breakdown of some of the expenses revealed that the present administration has spent at least 23.66 trillion naira on personnel cost, pensions, overhead cost, presidential amnesty program, other services-wide vote, and special interventions. A minimum of 14.13 trillion naira has also been spent servicing domestic and foreign debt, and at least 10.47 trillion naira has been spent on capital expenditure. Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, that is FCCPC, has said no electricity distribution company, that is DISCO, has the right to disconnect a customer without first serving a notice for at least 10 working days from the date of delivery of their bill. The Commission further said the DISCO must notify the consumer in writing ahead of the disconnection of electricity service before doing so, adding that upon payment of an outstanding bill, it has a duty to reconnect with the consumer within 24 hours. Speaking during a 4-day electricity consumer complaint resolution platform in Calabar, Cross River State, Executive Vice Chairman Babatunde Rukera bemoaned the abysmal service provided by Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company, that is PHED, in Calabar and its environs. He disclosed that, based on the interaction with the people, PHED needs to improve its service, adding that their success was not measured based on what they generate, but on customer satisfaction. Still to come on Africa Today is sports. Don't go away.
afternoon and welcome to Sport News on Africa Today. I am Memo Cynthia Asoya. Rivers United midfielder Nelson Esau has linked up with Tanzanian Premier League club Simba FC. Reporters observed that Esau was an integral member of the Rivers United that won the Nigerian Professional Football League NPFL title for the first time last month. The player joined Rivers United from local rivals GO Round FC in January 2019. The 25-year-old made 83 league appearances for Stanley Eguma's side, registering 11 goals and 5 assists. Rivers United has also announced the departure of the attacking midfielder, adding that everyone at Rivers United wishes Nelson Esau and his family all the very best in their new chapter. Still on the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will take on Cristiano Ronaldo-led Portugal in an international friendly in September. This was revealed by Nigerian Football Federation NFF Secretary General Mohamed Sanusi, though there is no official statement from the NFF or the Portuguese Football Federation. According to Sanusi, the game is expected to hold in September as the NFF want to take advantage of the FIFA window following the postponement of the 2023 AFCON qualifiers till March next year. Also, Sanusi stated that Eagles coach Jose Peseiro is involved in the arrangement of the friendly with Portugal. And that's your news on Africa Today. I am Memo Cynthia Asoya. Back to Luben Aina for the rest of the news.
And that's Africa Today. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. We told you on the headlines, Buhari wishes Osinbajo quick recovery. Ivory Coast meets with detained soldiers. On sport, Portugal to meet Team Nigeria. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hughes TV, at Instagram on Hughes TV. Follow our YouTube channel at Hughes TV. I am Aidnan Lubem. Thank you for watching.